I think the question was something like, who are you to be? Right?
Who are you to be?
Who are you to be?
Okay.
Any thoughts on that?
So for those who don't know what we're talking about, Lara has this amazing deck of cards that just have kind of thought-provoking questions on them. And you said one of them is, who are you to be? Myself? Is it cheating just to say I'm to be myself? Because then you can say who is myself.
I think the answer was beautiful.
What do you think about? What's the question again?
Who are you to be?
Who are you to be?
Well, my first thought was a peacekeeper, a being of love and light. But yeah, maybe that's essentially who I am and for already.
Because I was gonna say, like, are you already? Who are you to be seems to imply that something you aren't already. Do you already think of yourself as a peacekeeper, being of light?
Yeah, in some forms, like most of the time, but not always. I mean, of course, sometimes the mind can get pretty crowded, and there can be thoughts that you might on other days not resonate with, that don't feel like they belong to you in a way.
Who do they belong to?
I mean, the question is, like, can you ever have an original thought anyways, you know? Isn't it all maybe such an exchange of thoughts all the time? Like, maybe we're so imprinted by the society we live in that all the thoughts we're having is just a resemblance of everything we've learned.
Yeah. I have two thoughts. First of all, when you were talking about, or maybe I don't have two thoughts, maybe society just has the thoughts. If I can't have any thoughts. But wherever they come from, there's two thoughts in my brain right now. One, you want to be a peacekeeper, you said, and the question is, are you that already? Are you becoming that? I could say who are you to be? I want to be a filmmaker. And me saying that would seem to imply that I'm not one now. But saying I'm one now doesn't mean I still want a lot of growth, right? You can still be like, okay, I'm a peacekeeper at like level 1 of 1,000, and I want to get to level 1,000. But I think especially with like artistic pursuits, people are always like, oh, I'm not a painter, I just play around with paint, or I'm not a writer, I just have a couple of stories I published, or I'm not a filmmaker, I just make YouTube videos. Like, everyone is kind of, sometimes others see you as being something more than you see yourself. But, you know, I don't think this doc is thinking, oh, I'm not a doc, I just stand here and pretend to be a doc, and, you know, I really don't know who am I to be. Like, who is a duck to be? Other than what it is in this moment. Does a tree really sit around being like, who am I to be?
Yeah. And to be honest, I always find myself, the more I think about the future, the more I get caught up in all of those thoughts, and I lose who I really am. And yeah, the moment I stop and realize, wait, this is who I am right now, and I could define myself as anything. Like, I can say, yeah, I play the guitar and I sing, or I can say I am a musician. Like it doesn't really matter. I feel like as long as it's not limiting you to say, oh, I'm a filmmaker, you know, like being like I'm a filmmaker but nothing else.
Yeah.
As long as it's like uplifting in a way, I think it's fine to say, hey, I'm this and that, and make it real, or just be it.
I mean, and it's a fine line between like on the one hand, you don't want to underestimate yourself and be like, no, I'm not a musician. No, you don't want to always like downplay your own identity. But maybe sometimes, like to use music an example, you know, like I'm sure you have musicians you admire who have like multiple albums and multiple tours and stuff. So sometimes someone might say, oh, I'm not a musician because your idea of what it is to be a musician is not a life you're currently living. And so you can feel very talented. I might say I'm not a writer because, okay, I haven't published books. I don't do book tours. I don't have readers. That's not a big part of my life, but I still like to write. And so it's almost like an acknowledgement of, okay, there is this potential inside of me. And I feel that I can be that person. Like, who am I to be? But I'm just not living that path right now. It's like dormant inside of you, you know?
Dormant inside.
Dormant means like sleeping. It's like sleeping inside of you. Who are you to be?
Well, I feel like as a writer or as a musician, I think the core of it, for me at least, is that you feel called to do so. So you, like, I wouldn't be able to live without writing or without making music, you know, I think. Yeah. And I don't want to define myself as a musician or a writer, because whatever creative medium expresses what I think and feel in that moment can be very individual. And it used to be painting, but it's not anymore. So if I would have labeled myself a painter, I would have been so stuck in being like, oh, but I can't paint what I feel. And so I would have never gone down the path of like picking up an instrument and learning a new instrument and singing and writing, because I would have been so limited in that belief. So yeah, maybe it is the wisest thing to just be and see who you become or who you are each moment.
That's interesting, yeah, because I think some of the most interesting people you meet have very broad definitions of who they are. Like they might just say, I'm an artist, you know, or I'm a creator. Even like some people who are more into business will be like, I'm an entrepreneur. And you'll be like, well, what does that mean? I don't know, like what, I have no idea what you do. But it could mean like, well, I have like 5 different businesses that are completely different and I do a different thing every day. An artist could mean like, well, sometimes I wake up, I want to make music. Sometimes I want to paint. Sometimes I want to like meet up with my theater friends and do some crazy thing that I'd never done before, you know? It just means just a way of life, right?
And
I feel like that's you. I feel like you have a lot of different creative interests, you know?
Totally. And I love to play around in all of them. And I always feel like there are certain times in life where one will feel more like you will be more drawn to one or the other. So yeah. I feel like you have multiple ways of expressing yourself to multiple interests. Like you're very open to new things.
I try to be, and someone like you can inspire me to be. Is that right, Mr. Duck? We just heard a... Oh! Is he throwing up? What's happening?
Well, maybe they want to get out the water and telling us to leave.
They're like, hey...
Hey guys, this is our spot. We
Yeah.
like to chill here, but...
Film your video and go home, you tourists. This is duck territory here. Okay, universe, message received. We will end our video. They're like, God, influencers, so annoying.
I thought you are an influencer.
Well, I mean, that's who am I to be? I definitely, I don't want to be an influencer. I don't think it's I was gonna say I don't think it's a noble goal to want to influence people. I mean, people can be influenced in good ways too, I guess. But I think that shouldn't be the goal. That should be like something that happens, right? Like if you're making music because I want to inspire other people to make music, that's kind of a weird reason to make music. It's like, why don't you just make the music, and then if it's good, it will inspire people, right? To me, it's a bit like influence. I want to influence people. I want to sell people things. I want to.
But
It's like, what do you really want?
But isn't there a difference between influencing and inspiring?
The way influencers use today, certainly. Certainly.
I mean, not all influencers, but some, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole nother big discussion, but yeah, that word has been a bit tainted, I would say.
So shall we? Shall we?
We shall.
Alright.
Who are you to be YouTube? Are you that person? If you're not, what's stopping you? Let us know in the comments. See you next time.